Okay, gang, this week you're reading Chapter 10 of WSNY, which is all about infographics. You're also looking at some infographic resources that I've shared with you. These include some different websites that help you create an infographic, but they also include a link to my Pinterest board where I pin different infographics. I highly recommend you check that board out. Take a look at some of the infographics because you'll see that not all of them are alike and not all of them are static, which gets more into the multimedia side of the house. Our discussion this week is deconstructing an infographic. So you're going to pick one from one of the various sites and pick it apart as you think about your own instructional visual that's coming up. So now that we've done another assignment, the theory presentation, it's time to do critiques. You'll notice an asterisk on the screen. I still have one student whose assignment is outstanding. I have contacted him or her to double check on a particular extension. And once I have that last one in, I will then contact you about conducting the critiques. We've run into some issues this semester with students not responding to emails. So if you think I'm talking about you and you don't have an email from me, then I'm not talking about you. If you don't think I'm talking about you and you have an email from me, then I'm talking about you. Please get your critiques done from the logo assignment. We still have students who are waiting to receive their critiques. You have until 5 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow, Tuesday, April 5th, to finish any logo critiques. After that, if I do not have your critique of your classmates' work, you will receive a 0 for the critique assignment in this course, and I will exclude you from the peer critique assignments going forward. I'm making this decision because we must rely on one another for our peer critiques. This class is based off of that foundation. If you are not participating, you are holding up other students, and I will not let that impact their grade. So after all of that, if you are completely confused and you're concerned, it's okay. You can contact me and I will let you know where you stand. I would much rather you contact me than you not, and you wind up with a 0 and then unhappy at the end of the semester. Which leads me into the instructional visual. This semester we're doing the instructional visual slightly different. In the past, I simply asked that you look for a topic that might be interesting. Perhaps you had some information you wanted to share with a group or an organization. This time, however, we're going to take a look at your ability to create a message based off of another source. So I've provided for you a link to an article. It is the preprint version of the article called Creating an Intentional Web Presence, Strategies for Every Educational Technology Professional. This article is by Patrick Lowenthal, Joanna Dunlap, and Patricia Stinson. Patrick is a colleague of mine who is at Boise State, and he and I do a lot of work in terms of design and developing designers together. But we also have a lot of conversations about what does it mean to have a digital footprint, and how do we encourage professionals to intentionally manage that digital footprint. So what I've done with Patrick is asked him to provide this article because there's some really good tips in here that I think lend themselves to formatting in an infographic. So if you were to take a snapshot of this journal article and you wanted to have takeaway messages, what would they be, what would they look like, and how would you put that into an infographic? Keep in mind that I do want to use this assignment as part of a future research study. At the conclusion of the semester, I will provide for you a informed consent form for you to review and let me know if I may use your infographic that you create for that study. I'm doing this at the end of the semester once grades have posted so that there is no conflict between your graded assignment in class and that potential research project. So if you have questions about that particular aspect, please let me know. For now, just focus on looking at the rubric for the instructional visual assignment and reading that article from Dr. Lowenthal and his colleagues to begin pulling out what information should be in your infographic. If you have any questions, please let me know. But to recap, you're reading Chapter 10, you're looking at the resources, You're deconstructing an infographic in the discussion. You're waiting to hear from me on which of the theory presentations you will critique. And you're starting to work on that instructional visual because it is due at the end of this week. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you when you've got questions. Use the on-screen navigation to access another section of this week's overview.